What's good, everybody? What's good? Welcome back to the channel. Y'all, I've been trying to get this video done about 4 or 5 times, and each time my camera, you know what I'm saying, will record the second half and not the first half, even though I hit that record button. And at that time I was using the GoPro. And it just really wasn't working out for me. So I had to change up a different camera setup, which is what I really should have been using, considering the fact I'm just sitting here talking to you. With that being said, the pool, well, not the pool noodles, but the jug lines that were made out of pool noodles, you know, there was a couple of steps that were missing from that. So I am going to redo this video and add in those crucial steps, because there are some steps in there that you need to know. Without further ado, and before I continue on, don't forget to like, you know, it helps out the video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and comment on anything else that you would like to see. Now, let's just get to it, because I know you are tired of looking at my ugly face, and I hope I don't bore any of y'all in the process. Let's get started. I'm doing this on the back of my truck. Old Bella here. Well, not old, because she's a pretty young girl. And we're going to get this going, and we're finna get this started. Now, what you want to do is you want to measure you out 14 inches. So lock that into place. Now, with that being said, you want to begin your cut at 14 inches. Normally I would have used my knife there, but I picked up the wrong thing. But the cut is still clean. It still works. Then, one of the parts that was missing on the first video is you want to take and you want to make you a cut at an angle in the top here, and you want to go down about 1/4 inch, and then you want to do the same thing in the other direction, right? And you want to peel that out. Okie dokie. Forgive me of the shadow. The sun is about high noon, and the shadow is in the way of a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? You got that camera mic, but forgive me about that. So you should end up with 2 slots, like so. On the bottom of it, you want to take and you want to put you in a slit about 1/4 inch, like on the other side. Do a 1/4 turn and make another slit, so that on both sides you have a slit up here, in the back, and on each side. Right? Now, you want to put this off to the side for now. Then, well, actually, before you do that, you want to take your stick and you want to measure it to fit your pool noodle. You don't need much sticking out on each side, you know, just enough. And let me measure that. Put a little cut right there to measure it. Now you begin to measure. Quick side note, I got these at Walmart. You can also get them at Hobby Lobby, or you can just use a stick found out in the yard. But I'm thinking about painting these, you know what I'm saying, putting a little bit of epoxy on them, and to make them last longer, but we'll see. So now we begin to cut. goes in like so in the slot. Now, what you want to do is you want to take your tape. I prefer something bright, fluorescent, so that you can find it real easy in the water. And you want to tape just below your stick here, all the way around. You do this so that when there's a bite on your line, your stick will not dig into your noodle and make a bigger crack. Okay? Now remember the other side. You find your slit. I'm sorry about that shade. Let me go back here. Yeah, you find your slit here, and you want to tape just below where that slit ends. Slit. Normally it's about 1/4 of an inch. Now normally all you really need is a full wrap, but I like to go a wrap and a half or a wrap and a quarter, you know, just to really make sure it's up there. All right, that part is done. Now you measure you out. I like to do 24 feet, and I got a 6 foot long, 6 foot arm span. I don't know why I can't talk, but in any case, so you measure that out. So that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, and that's 4. But I might make this one a little bit longer because, well, I am out of the string here. So I'm going to cut this off right at the string. But you can get this string also at Walmart or Hobby Lobby. And the reason of getting this is because it does have like a waxy film on it. Lake Fork, he got his off of Amazon, but I got mine at Walmart, but it still has that waxy film on it so that, you know, it holds up in water a whole lot better. From here, all you have to do is start from the bottom, because this is the top. Start from the bottom and feed your line through, get the line to act right and go through for me. And it did that right. Okay. Toss all that out. Now, what you want to tie on this end is a marlin spike, in which, to do that, is you take your line, you make your loop. You make your loop, right? Now, if you folded it over your main line, then all you do is flip it and push your main line through the hole and bring your stick through. Lift up to tighten down, and you should have your marlin spike, which I don't like how that looked, but hold on. let's do that over again so y'all can actually see that and make it look good. Now, if you do it under, you just take your line and go up through, put your stick through, and tighten down. You should have, it should look like that. Single strand on one side, 2 strands on the other, but they knotted on both sides. And all of this does is allow you to change your depth at what you're jugging from. Plus, the weight on the bottom will help keep it secure. You know, that's how you do it. Now, from that point, what you want to do is you want to tie on the other end a simple loop knot. I pretty much gotten, you know what? It's not a bad thing that I took 3 times to do this video, because I'm getting pretty damn good at tying these knots now. But since I got extra here, tie a simple loop knot, which is you just double it over, tie overhand granny, I want that to be closer to, boom. That knot ain't going nowhere. That's your loop knot. You can cut off your tag end if you want. You don't have to. For this purposes, I'm going to cut the tag end. Uh-oh. Gotta sharpen my knife. So, that's your loop knot. In actuality, at this point, all you would need to do is tie on a leader line with a not a Palomar, but with a uni knot or a trilene knot, and you're good to go. You are really good to go to fish this just as it is. But we're gonna go one step further. And on the video, Lake Fork advised of a channel to go with what is it? Catfish and carp. That's the video. That's the video to tie this knot, which again, I have been trying to get this video done now for a minute, and it enabled me to be able to tie this knot very effective and actually very quickly now. So that proves it, y'all. When it comes to knot time, practice makes perfect. In any case, this is going to be called the drop loop rig. So all you do is double it over a loop and then grab it. So you should end up with 2 on top, 1 on the bottom, like so. So on the top, you just twist it sometimes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Reach down and grab that bottom 1 knot, and you bite it. That's your first loop. Okay? That's your first loop. Then you go down a foot, and you do the same thing over again. Okay? And remember, how big the loop is that you put in here will depend on how big your loop knot will be. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Grab that. And that's just how fast it is. Now, I'm using this line. Normally I would use trilene monofilament at about 25 to 30 pound test, but so that y'all can see what I'm tying, I'm using this yarn. Also, with catfish and carp, they did it one way, but I found on YouTube another way of doing it, which is the way that I did it, which is a whole lot easier way. Normally you have to do like a loop and then wind it down one side and then wind it down the other side, which I think this whole way is a whole lot faster. But after you get that done, you cut that off. Okay, that would be your drop loop knots. You know what I'm saying? On one end, you want to tie a loop knot also again. There's your loop knot. On this end, you want to tie a barrel swivel with a clip. You can get these at Walmart or Academy, whichever way you want to go. Bass Pro, picky poison on that one. And on this one, I'm just going to tie a simple I'm going to tie a uni knot. And I'm only going to do 4 strands. 2, 3, 4. Boom. Uni knot on this end, loop knot on this end. This side grabs your weights. This guy, you put your weight on here. This side clips on to your main line. Okay. And there is your rig all set up. And I tried to put it through and I didn't clip it all the way through. I didn't clip it through like I was supposed to. That's a blooper for me. Make sure your loop is clipped into your daggum clip here. So now, we're all good to go. Let me get it right. We're all good to go. So all it is now is you take you a 4/0 circle hook, feed it through here, do you a Palomar knot at this point. Same with your other hook, and then with your weight, so that you can interchange it, push it through, loop it under, and let it hang. So that you can change out your weights depending on what depth that you are fishing. Well, depending on what you are fishing. If you're fishing a river or a lake, you might want to use a heavier weight. If you're fishing a pond, then you probably don't need no more than like an ounce, maybe even less, you know what I'm saying, to fish a pond. And that will be it. That's how you make it in full steps. There were some steps that were missing. Get it off my tongue here. Now, to store it, all you would really need to do is, begin your wrap. 3, 4. And you wrap it back and forth like this, so that when you set it in the water, all you would have to do is just let it drop. And it will unwind itself. Also, when you have a weight in your hooks, the cool thing about the pool noodles is your weight can store inside the bottom like that, and you can hook your hooks into your pool noodles. So, guys, I want to thank you and for not blasting me on this one, for getting those few steps. I hope this video was informative and it helped you. If you like the video, please don't forget to subscribe. Hit that like button because it helps. And I see you guys on the water. And don't forget, I'm here to get you right so you can keep them lines tight.